Welcome everybody, it's Todd Costello from RE/MAX Center Realty. It is time for the February 2024 monthly value message. We're going to jump right in. At the top, I just want to give you a snapshot of current market demand. So I took a look at the last 5 years, and the demand rate is the ratio between active buyers and sellers. So as an example, an 84% demand rate means there are 84 buyers for every 100 homes. A 147% demand rate means there are 147 buyers for every 100 homes, so on and so forth. So just a quick snapshot. In 2020, the third business day of the month is when I pull the data. So in 2020, the third business day of February, the demand rate was 84%. You can see the big years, 21 and 22, when the market went bananas and interest rates were very low. And then 2023, we're getting back to more common numbers. Kicking off the year with a little bit lower demand. This is a single moment in time, the third business day of the month of February. So while these numbers can vary greatly, month to month they can vary greatly as well. So it's just something I'm keeping an eye on. And 59% for February 3rd, not the end of the world, but it's something we want to make sure that number starts going up in the next couple of months. So this month, as we're getting into season, I wanted to just briefly touch on a negotiating mindset. So this is about active buyers and sellers. It's going to be very important as we head into the buying and selling season that active buyers and sellers understand this mindset. So if you care about someone, you know someone at work, a family member, a friend, forward them this email. If you never forward them anything else, forward them this one. So let's start with price versus value and could versus probably. This is where the consumer focuses. And this is where Todd focuses. And what this means is, when we're talking about price, you're selling your home, you're listed for $500,000, you get an offer for $475,000, you counter to $490,000, the buyer comes up to $485,000, and there's a $5,000 delta. And hey, I'm not coming down anymore, and the buyer's not coming up. So that's focusing on price, and I understand that. Where Todd is focusing, where I'm consulting with you and I'm recommending and making, is based on value. So we need to know things. You're listed at $500,000, the offer came in at $475,000. How long were you on the market? How many showings did you have? What is the current demand rate? Because when we're looking at price versus value, could versus probably, what we're really looking at is, under current market conditions, is the deal that you're negotiating replaceable, and is it replaceable in a time frame that makes sense for you? So just keep in mind, as you're beginning to be an active buyer and seller, sure, you're looking at price. When you're negotiating numbers, you're stuck on those numbers, but from a value standpoint, in that scenario I gave, 500, offer comes in at 475, you come down to 490, buyer comes up to 485, you've got a $5,000 delta, and this is germane to both the buyer and the seller. For the seller, okay, $5,000, you can come down to 485, should you? Well, your decision should be based on, is it going to be replaceable? If you lose that buyer, can you put the house back on the market? And or you're going to expect another offer that a buyer is probably going to come to your 490. And what is the probability of that? Well, what's the current demand rate, number one, and how many showings have you had? If you had 15 showings and you only get one offer, well, you may want to come down to the 485 because it might not be easy to replace that buyer. For buyers, the question is, you're coming up to 485, the seller's stuck at 490. Should you go to 490? Well, the question is, how many houses have you seen? Do you really like this home? Is it easy to replace it? Can you find another home in the same price point that you can get for 485 or less that you like as much as the subject property that you're offering on? So again, it's a mindset. Just don't get caught focused just on price and what could happen. You want to focus on the overall value to you and your family and what's probably going to happen. So just the mindset I wanted to share. So please share it with family and friends. Next month's what happens when you refer someone to me. Next month's video, I just want to share with my clients. Most of my business is by referral. Clients call me, hey, we got your name from so-and-so. I want you to know when you share my name, what exactly happens? What do I do with that referral? So we'll cover that next month. I appreciate you tuning in. If you want some more market data, you can go to toddcostello.com, and I'll catch you next month.